Jim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. Well, we're not going to talk about the Cowboys game anymore. We're done with that. We are moving on to the Washington football team. We are favored to win this game. I don't know what happened. The gods are smiling on us in Vegas. The heavens have opened, and we are favored to win a game. Does that mean we're going to win? No, you never know that. It's just, you know what? I like the Vegas predictions because the Vegas predictions are always there to make money. So, and I laugh because some people are like, well, sometimes when you get your information, you always quote the sports book in Vegas. Yeah, I do that because of the fact that their job is to make money, not lose money. So they take the emotion out of things. And I think that's what, as fans, we never do. And that's what I try to do with the channel. I try to take the emotion out of it. Sometimes it gets the best of me, like the other day, because I was ticked off that we lost that game. But you know what? We need to now move on to Washington. I want to talk about a couple things. Poor Lorenzo Carter. Yes, he has a torn Achilles. That is not a fun injury. He is going to require surgery, or I should say, he has a ruptured Achilles. You know, he was starting to play better. He was starting to show why we drafted him 3 years ago. He had 15 tackles, 11 solo, and a sack. He was making his presence felt at times. He also disappeared at times. But you know what? Rome wasn't built in a day. I'm sure it was built in 3 years and 4 games, or 2 years and 4 games. But again, it's going to be the next man up philosophy, and they're already talking about Carter Coughlin and Cam Brown. I am hoping we activated Mayo, and he practiced last week. They have 21 days to put him on the roster. So I'm hoping that Mayo is ready to come in against Washington. I don't know. I don't know if we're going to have the stopgap of Carter Coughlin and Cam Brown. I'm not filled with confidence with that. It seems that the Devontae Downs experiment has finally and gracefully ended. He only played in two defensive snaps against Dallas. So I am glad that I mean, it's nothing against Devontae Downs, and he's just not an NFL starting linebacker. There's nothing wrong with saying that. I am not an NFL starting free safety. I wasn't when I played in high school. I wasn't when I played in college. So I give him all the credit in the world. You know what? You make the NFL, you have talent, but he does not have the talent to be on the field 24/7. Sorry. And it was good to see. It's good. It would be good to see David Mayo if we can get the Mayo back. I would like to see Mayo. He's not going to help us in the pass coverage department because that is not his forte. He is more of a run stopper. He does that well. And I would like to see that. I'd like to see that on the field because we are still having some issues with the front four. They've played better, but we are still giving up runs inexplicitly, and I don't really know why. Because of the fact that we have that talent on the front line, and I give Leonard Williams all the crap all the time, but you know what? He's played well in spurts as well. He kind of disappeared a little bit against Dallas, but you know what? You don't have every. Ooh, geez, sorry, I hit my watch on the thing. You don't have great games every week, so and I can't fault him for that. I mean, but you got Dalvin Tomlinson, you got Dexter Lawrence, you have Austin Johnson. I didn't see a lot of Austin Johnson I didn't see his name called a lot on Sunday, which I found kind of interesting. He was only on the field for 10 plays last week. I thought he would be on the field more after the Rams game where he had a couple tackles and a sack. And I understand the rotational substitutional defense that we're running. I get it, but and I know a lot of it's based on analytics and everything else, but you know what? Football is a game about a heartbeat. Sometimes you got to play the hot hand. Same with baseball. I've never been a big analytics fan in baseball because analytics don't tell you what's in a guy's mentality, what's in his head, what's in his heart, and what he can do on the field. But you know what? I'd like to see him get into the rotation a little bit more. And I mean, it's going to be. We're not going to do any predictions right now because it's going to be an interesting week leading up to this game since we are the favorites. I did want to talk about Joe Judge for a moment. Everyone knows I am not a Joe Judge fan. I don't hide it. I never did. Didn't like the hire. Actually, I hated the hire. I'm still not a fan of the hire. But you know what? I wasn't a fan of the Shermer hire, and I wasn't a fan of the McAdoo hire. But you know what? I still supported the team. But, you know, Joe, for all the issues that he has had this season, to me, finally kind of turned a corner in my mind about being what I feel the Giants head coach should be. You know, he showed some life. He showed some passion on the sidelines for the last couple weeks. He, even after the loss, he did not point fingers at the refs. He did not say, you know what, they cost us this game, they did this, they did that. He spoke mainly about team execution, what they need to do better. And it's almost like he's holding them accountable. Because you could sit there and blame the refs all you want. There's bad calls in every game, and good teams find a way, or even average teams find a way to win. You know, it's the whole philosophy that, and I think, you know what, and I've talked about Eli Manning a couple times. I think we got spoiled with Eli for his first 11 years of his career because he always brought the team back. Eli Manning would get the ball in the fourth quarter with a minute something left. You know he was going to score. He did it 40-something times. You know he was going to score a touchdown. Daniel Jones, I don't see that mentality yet. And I think we got spoiled because when Daniel Jones got the ball with a minute and change and a timeout, I thought the game was over. And I had zero confidence. And when I laugh, as I kind of segued out of Joe Judge, I had more confidence in Joe Judge at that point in time than I did in Daniel Jones. I kind of had confidence that Joe Judge was going to kind of work with Jason Garrett and find a way to potentially move the ball, which they didn't. You know, you throw 3 passes to Deion Lewis. I don't know, man. But you know what? I just like the fact that Judge, and I even said it, Judge manned up. He said, you know, the refs didn't cost us the game. We did it. And to me, that's what you want from a head football coach. You don't want the guy that's rolling in the mud, getting the ball, showing him he's one of the guys. Because that was, and I've said it before, that was so a psychological thing. That was just Joe Judge, who was a hard ass for all those weeks, showing, hey, look, guys, I'm just like you. That's all that was. That was so planned by Joe Judge. And I give him credit for that because he's a teacher and he's a psychology guy. I give him credit for that. I've seen that done before. I had a coach that ran us ragged, and he turned around the last couple days of the practice, and he was showing that he was one of the guys. Because that's supposed to make up for everything that he did and said through the rest of the weeks. And they see it. People see through it. I love the photo of Dalvin Tomlinson with the hose. Because when Joe is going after the ball, Dalvin's not squirting Joe on the body. He's not squirting him on the arm. He's squirting him directly in the face. That's another psychological thing. That's just saying, you know, you can say anything you want. You've been a dick to us. So I'm going to shoot you in the face with this hose. Getting my frustration out. But to me, even at 0-5, Judge has kind of turned the football corner for being a Giants head coach. And him manning up and not pointing blame at the referees and anything else that cost them the game and saying, hey, you know what, Dallas, you know, beat us and we beat ourselves. We really have no one else to blame for this situation. And that's what you want your coach to do. Now, is that going to help him coach better? No. Is that going to help him make his team play better? I would hope so, because I would hope that would be preaching accountability. And the fact that you cannot blame others for your faults. And this team has lots of faults. This team has lots of warts. Not just Daniel Jones, not just the offensive line, not just the receiving core, not just the lack of the running game. You know, it's funny, when you talk about the warts, it's all on offense. We have some warts on defense, but, you know, the secondary actually played not well. They played okay against Dallas, but it's the Cowboys. You know they were going to score. I was hoping that we would have put it a little bit together with the when the Red Rifle came in. But you know what? Dalton's been in the league for years. Dalton's been to the Pro Bowl. Dalton's, he's a guy that's, he can. I wish that we had spent the money on a veteran backup like Andy Dalton, that we could have brought in and just had. And I know the reason why they didn't do it because they didn't want to hurt the psyche of Daniel Jones. I always love how we're now so concerned about the psyche of Daniel Jones. You know what? I even said this, if you are worried that Daniel Jones being benched is going to hurt his psyche and stunt his development as an NFL quarterback, then we don't want him as our franchise quarterback. This is New York. You think it's bad when you lose. It's also bad when you win. Because once you win, then the pressure is twice as much because you're expected to continue to win. So I'm not going to sit there and say, well, I don't want to damage the young man's psyche. He's toughen up. And I'm not saying Daniel Jones isn't tough because he gained 8.5, 9 pounds over the summer. And, that really is going to help him develop into a stellar quarterback. How did that work out? I love it when people went to me and I had the video with the Hulk hands and said, you know what? Added 9 pounds does nothing. He needs to work on his pocket presence, his blindside awareness, and be able to read the defense. And people are like, wow, it's going to make him stronger. It's going to make him this. It's going to make him stronger. It's going to make him faster. We could build the first going into the 70s with $6 million man. But you know what? It means nothing. 9 pounds meant nothing. And I just laugh because I never get any credit for being right. I get blasted for what people tell me I'm foolish and I don't know what I'm talking about. And then like 4 weeks later, it's like, well, shit, the dude was right. Now, we're not right all the time. I will tell you that. We've been right. We've been wrong plenty of times, but we are right a lot more often because, like I said, when we do this channel, we do it from the outside perspective, not the Giant fan perspective. Now, like I said, I will admit the Cowboy video after the Cowboy game, yeah, that was a fan video because I was pissed. But we don't need to worry about the psyche of Daniel Jones. And like I said, I'm very happy the fact that, to me, it seems that, in my mind, Joe Judge, even at 0-5, is turning the coaching corner for the Giants. And in some regards, if he can get some talent, I think he will be all right. And again, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. And as always, if you could subscribe, if you could ring the bell, you know what that means, that'd be awesome.